Welcome to the Drone Evangelist. Be sure to like, share, and join us for fellowship afterwards. Y'all have a good day. Hey, y'all, welcome back, and I see a lot of familiar faces in the audience today. Of course, we got Bubba.
Amen.
And I'd like to welcome, if you haven't had a chance to meet Monica yet, Monica's here today. She actually brought out two other people with her, which I felt was very exceptional for our sermon today. Thank you, Monica. We really appreciate it, and encourage others to come out too. And again, this isn't a place where it's what you're wearing. It's just the fact that you're here. So I decided I'd just wear a t-shirt today, and I see a lot of y'all today in swimsuits. Obviously, you have a cover up on, which is nice, and you're not dripping wet, because that was my only demand. If you do come from the beach, be sure to ensure that your swimsuit is dry, because we do not want to damage the finish on these pews. These pews are very old.
Amen?
They've been well taken care of, and we don't want to damage them and or the floor. This floor is very old. What I want to talk about today is a very important lesson, and it's something that a lot of us have fallen victim to, and we don't even realize it. Now, social media today is a powerful tool, but social media is something that enables us to, by the act of sharing something, we actually become inadvertently aligned with something that we don't need to do. And the example I'm going to talk about is something, and I'm not even going to acknowledge the act that was performed, because it was less than responsible, and I don't even want to create more buzz for it. But if you've been on social media, you've probably seen at least a couple, if not more, just absurdly ridiculous examples of misuse of a drone. Using a drone in a way to where people see that, and then it helps them to have a negative opinion of drones in their mind. So we're talking about someone taking a drone, attaching something to it, and then that getting all over the news. And people that don't even know what a drone is, they see that. So their first encounter with a drone is that image of that drone with that object attached to it. And for them, the drone then becomes a negative thing. Maybe it's even threatening. Maybe it's not just something that they dislike, but it's something that when they see it, they feel threatened. So then when they're out at their park or wherever, and they see someone flying a drone, they're like, oh no, there's one of those things. And they think that drone is in the hands of an irresponsible person as well. In reality, the one in the park is being piloted by someone that's safe and responsible and recreational, and they're just having a good time. They understand the operations of the drone. They're safe distance from everyone, and they're at a safe altitude, and they're having a good time with it. But when that person sees that, because what they've seen on social media and throughout the media, television, etc., they have a distorted view of what a drone is within their mind. So it's important that when we see these less than responsible drone acts on social media, that we don't respond or share, because what you're doing is you're further promoting that act, that irresponsible act. So if you see, Joe Bob ABC post a social media post, and it's a drone with, something very unsafe and, extremely irresponsible and potentially even illegal attached to it, and they're promoting this post, and you got all the idiots that are laughing, and they're saying, ha ha ha, look at this, how funny is this? And the number of likes are increasing, and the number of shares are increasing, and before you know it, the media outlets are picking that up if they haven't already. You're seeing it broadcast on television, you're seeing it in newspapers, you're seeing it in magazines. What you're seeing is are the steps that are required to make this hobby illegal. So when you like that video or that picture or that post, whatever it is, when you like it or you comment, you're adding buzz and in essence putting that irresponsible act into the spotlight.
Can I get an amen?
You're putting it even more into the spotlight. So in your mind, you may think that, oh, I need to stand up for what's right and say, well, that's irresponsible and here's why. Then that becomes a confrontation. The confrontation fuels more buzz because there's going to be people that are on your side that are responsible and recreational drone pilots. But then there's also going to be the irresponsible camp that are going to bash you. But regardless of what side of the fence you're on, it's creating more buzz, which is enhancing the visibility of that post, which is getting it in the eyes and minds of more and more people throughout the world. So that being a negative image of what a drone should be, in my opinion, in your opinion, being responsible drone hobbyist, it's now trumping the positivity. So what we've got to do, we've got to, in the spirit of the drone evangelist here, we've got to all become drone evangelists ourselves. We've got to go out and we've got to touch that audience in a positive way. And the way to do that is just to raise awareness, to not acknowledge those less than responsible acts, because if you acknowledge them, they're getting the attention that they need, and they're getting the fuel that is required for that fire to possibly make this hobby illegal at a worldwide scale. And we don't want that, because drones are in their infancy. As I've mentioned many times, we're in the bag cell phone days. We've still got that big bag in our car, and we've got poor cell phone service, and we're spending too much. We're spending too much for that cell phone plan. That's where we are with drones. Even though drones are cool, and we can kind of see where they're heading from a technological perspective, we've got to put positive, responsible, safe, and recreational drone use into the spotlight. And the only way to do that, and I'm just one of many. Being the drone evangelist, I want to bring everyone together in a very relaxed and entertaining environment, casual. No need to wear a suit and tie. We don't care about that. I mean, it enhances professionalism, but there's no need. The main thing is that we all have the same mission, the mission of good, the mission of good. So remember that. You're on a mission. Anytime you're around a drone, or not even around a drone, around people talking about drones, sharing about drones, you're on a mission to seek out the positive. So you see a post on social media, and it says Sally Jane, she went out with her drone, and she was at a safe and responsible location, and she captured. I'm just pulling this out of my head right now. She captured this image of this duck on the water, and it's the best image of a duck because you can see the feather and this, that, and the other, and it's never been photographed before. You can share stuff like that because that puts drones that shows people why drones are so cool. Sally Jane was just out having a good time at the pond, and this duck came by, and safe and responsible distance, she was able to capture a really cool photo of that duck. Ooh. And it just really, it made her day, and everyone that was watching that read that post, they're like, man, I saw the coolest duck today. Spread stuff like that. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering post. It doesn't have to be something that is just epic from a contextual perspective. It just has to be just a lighthearted and good post. Because if we don't put the positivity into the spotlight, we're already at a disadvantage because, as we know, the media are all about negativity. It doesn't have to be drones. It can be anything. If you turn on the news, it's going to be predominantly negative because negativity creates more views, and that's what the media is about. They got to get their views up, and they got to get their larger viewership becomes more perceived value from an advertising perspective, etc. But what we've got to do to better prevent drones from becoming banned at a worldwide level is that we've got to actively and aggressively seek out these opportunities to share positive things. And we've got to overlook the negativity, because you don't want to share that. You don't want to comment on that, because you may have in the past, you may have commented and said, well, I felt in my ethical obligation to go and say this is irresponsible drone use because of whatever. But what you didn't realize, because of the way that social media works today, social media is a powerful tool. That by you standing up for what was right, you were actually promoting what's wrong, because you were enhancing the visibility of it. So remember that. Don't go after the negativity, the irresponsible, the potentially illegal use of drones. Don't go after that. Actively and aggressively seek out the positive and recreational use of drones and put that into the spotlight. Because together, like-minded drone evangelists, together, we can make change happen. We can make these people that would otherwise see that drone in the park and say, oh, I've got to duck behind a tree, I'm scared. We can make them go up and say, amen, brother. You're flying the drone and you're responsible, I can tell. And by the way, I saw your post on social media. Let people know. Let people know. And most importantly, share with others. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Okay. Thanks, Bubba. Well, it's that time again. Again, tips are appreciated. They're not required. Yeah, welcome back, everyone. And if you decided to tip, that's fine. If not, again, it's not required, but it is appreciated. And we've got to really continue this mission, and we're getting there, but we are we're the losers. We're close to the end of the line here, because we've got all those irresponsible people. They're jogging along and they're being loud, and they're posting all of this negativity on social media. They're creating conflict. We've got to dethrone them. We've got to dethrone them with positivity. So, again, and I can't preach it more. We've got to focus upon the positivity. So tell me what you think. Tell others what you think. Share my message with others. DroneEvangelist.com.
Can I get
Share the
an
message.
amen?
And hopefully the fellowship hall, and that's something I wanted to post an update. I know that Larry's been working on it. Actually, Larry's out sick. He came down with, let's see, what was it? He was stung by a, those clownfish? Very, very poisonous. But, he's okay. But, those things they will pretty much immobilize someone for a while. So he stumbled upon some clownfish, and then also sea urchin. There was a sea urchin that was there too. So you can imagine having a clownfish, and then on the clownfish on the right leg, and then a sea urchin on the left shoulder. So he's getting through it, and the building supplies as I had mentioned previously, they're coming from overseas, so they're still, unfortunately, there's been a delay, so we're still waiting on that. But I really want to get the fellowship hall up for everyone, because it will be a live way for us to interact in real time, and it should be a better way to even further spread the positive message for responsible and recreational drone use. So with that being said, that wraps it up for today. Again, appreciate everyone's time, and actually taking the time to come out and be part of the audience, and I encourage you all to tell everyone, invite anyone you know. Just make sure they don't wear a wet swimsuit. That's my only ask. So thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day.